Second question, Sheikh Mumtaz Ul Haq, a Deobandi Imam, has accused Abu Usamah of disrespecting Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu. He said, Abu Usamah is like Shia, as they hate the companions. And the reason why you don't follow them blindly is because they will lead you to our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is this true?
Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us, to increase us in al-huda, in hidayah, and in the tawfiq. وَمَا تَوْفِيقُنَا إِلَّا مِنَ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. At-tawfiq can only be obtained if Allah Azza wa Jal decreed it for the individual, and the person who He doesn't decree for him at-tawfiq, and from at-tawfiq is having guidance and a good understanding, then that individual will never receive it. And we seek refuge in Allah Azza wa Jal from that catastrophe. Some of the people, unfortunately, they have so much love, and it is love that is not true love. It's love that is not sanctioned by Islam. Some people have so much love for individuals that if you were to mention anything about that individual, and it can be the truth about what you're talking about, what you're saying and mentioning is truth about that individual, and it just shows that he's a human being, people will become overboard and they will go crazy, like in the case of these individuals. The man who was mentioned here, who has no adab in the way that he wants to address issues. If he wanted to help a person to be guided, then there is a way of helping him to be guided by trying to reach out and contact him and to give him advice. It may be that he would accept it from you. That's if he was actually wrong. But in the cases with some of these people, Ikhwani, I say we need to be careful about having al-ghulu in our religion. Individual thinks he loves Abu Hanifa so much that you'll find Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wasallam will be disrespected. Non-Muslims and other than non-Muslims would desecrate the noble image of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You won't hear a sound from this individual. You won't hear a sound. The companions on the day of Ashura and other than the day of Ashura, they are cursed, they are defiled, things are said about them. You won't hear a single sound from this individual. Not a single sound, not a squeak or peep from him. But when something is mentioned about Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, or if you don't say Al-Imam, if you just say Abu Hanifa, in their opinion, if you don't say Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, Al-Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, these people understand in a way that shows clearly they have ghulu in the personality. And this is one of the ways in which shirk was entered into the understanding of the aqidah of Bani Adam. May Allah Azza wa Jal save us from having ghulu in personalities. I don't have a ghulu in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the qiyas al-awla is that I don't have ghulu in Abu Bakr. And if I don't have ghulu in Abu Bakr, I don't have ghulu in Abu Hanifa. So in regards to Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu wa ardahu, he is the best human being that has been created. No one is above him from creation in terms of Bani Adam, with the exception of the prophets and the messengers. That's our aqidah, and that's the aqidah that we spread and we defend. And although this is my position concerning Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him, be pleased with him, and join us with him in the Jannat al-Firdaus. Although this is the case, I still am of the opinion that Abu Bakr is a human being, and he is not ma'soom. And if anyone insists that Abu Bakr is ma'soom and he doesn't make mistakes, and he insists upon that after the Quran and the Sunnah has been made clear to that individual, then he is clearly astray. He is astray. And maybe that dalala that he's upon can fall into and lead him into kufr, because he's making takdeeb of the kitab of Allah, and he's making takdeeb of the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The only ma'soom for this ummah is its prophet and its messenger, Muhammad ibn Abdullahi sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. He is the only one. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran to Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Inna wallahu ya'asimuka minan nas. Allah will divinely protect you. Allah will give you a divine protection. He will make you ma'asum. Wallahu ya'asimuka minan nas. Allah will protect you divinely from the people. So he has al-isma, the position of being the only individual from this ummah, because he is a prophet, he is a messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that doesn't make mistakes when it comes to relaying the message. And if he did make a mistake, that mistake was allowed to be made to teach the community what to do in that particular issue, how to make sajda as-sahu when it comes to relaying this message. As Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, Ya ayyuhar rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbika, wa in lam taf'al fama ballagta risalata. O messenger, tell the people what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you don't do that, then you have not relayed the message. But he relayed the message, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And from the message that he gave us is that every single human being who comes to us with an issue, he has to bring the dalil. He has to bring the dalil. So that's what we meant, and that's what we continue to mean, and that's what we stand on when we say that it is not permissible to make a taqleed al-a'ma in something that someone has the ability to understand that issue, and he can see that that person's statement is wrong. Al-Imam al-Awza'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, who actually was bigger than Al-Imam Abu Hanifa in fiqh, in my opinion, and the opinion of a number of ulama, Al-Imam al-Awza'i, the great Imam of Al-Sham. If anyone from the ulama deserved to be Al-Imam al-A'zam, is him. But we say that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was and is Al-Imam al-A'zam. Ala kullin, Al-Imam al-Awza'i, the Salafi Sheikh and Imam of the Sunnah, not the Sheikh of Khurafat and innovation and shirk and bid'ah and the hocus pocus religion of the people who want us to be upon cultural Islam. I'm not interested in your culture, that many times what you're believing and what you're saying has been borrowed from the Sikhs and the Hindus. Al-Imam al-Awza'i said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions were upon 5 things. 5 characteristics were with them. The first characteristic is that they were a group of people who used to take care of the jama'ah, trying to be united. And the only way that we can achieve this unity is not by empty slogans, but by being upon the same aqeedah and the minhaj, being upon what the Prophet's companions were upon, sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa radiyallahu anhum ajma'in, in everything. Not selectively. Person comes and says you don't like Abu Bakr, and it's an indication, the fact that you don't want to make taqleed of him, that you don't want to be led to the companions, to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We say ramatni bida'iha thumman sallat. Accuse us of something, but they're in actuality guilty of it. We say follow the way of the companions in everything, in the aqeedah of Ahl Sunnah, not the aqeedah of the Asha'ira, the Maturidis, the Mu'tazila, as we see these people who are making these false claims. The companions, along with the Nabi and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa radiyallahu anhum ajma'in, they were upon taking care of the Jama'at, being united, and they were upon reading the Quran, and they were upon visiting the masjid and making salat in the masjid, and they were upon al-jihad fi sabilillah. And fifth and finally, they were upon al-ittiba'. And that's the point, al-ittiba'. Al-ittiba' is taking the position of someone based upon dalil. At-taqleed is taking the position from someone without knowing what their dalil is. Where did they take it from? So Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu, more just like everyone else, he is a slave of Allah, and he is commanded by Allah to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like everyone else, and he is the most knowledgeable of this community, but that doesn't exempt him from being a person who is not ma'soom. He's the most knowledgeable, but he's not ma'soom. And as a result of that, he had to have made mistakes here and there, and those mistakes are well recorded. And what applies to him is that he was a scholar, and in the mistakes that he made, when he made ijtihad, he'll still get a reward from that. So we have to stay balanced. As for the claim, the accusation that because you don't see that you have to make taqleed of Abu Bakr, you don't see that, therefore you become a Shiite, I'm a Shiite as a result of that. This is not the kalam of a person who is fair and just. This is not the kalam of a person who is trying to spread the truth. This is the kalam of Hizbiyah, the kalam of Asabiyah, the kalam of the sickness that is at the madhab. People who have these madhabs, some of them, not all of them, some of them are sick with hatred whenever you don't go with their madhab. But the people who are upon their madhabs, like the students of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala, they gave us an exemplary example of how to be upon a madhab without being muta'assib. The fact that Al-Imam Abu Yusuf went against a third of the madhab is a clear indication that he felt that his imam wasn't correct in those issues. So that is a lesson for all of us. Let us fear Allah Azza wa Jalla in regards to these issues and stay balanced. Now,